To our dearest, handsome, and active professor, Sir Abdul Malik Manalaw in this course, Children and Adolescents Literature, and to my classmates, I'm Hershishine Carlos Silaron, and I'm greeting you all a well-pleasant morning. My task for today is to present to you the 6 values of nonsense verses for children. The value of nonsense verses for children has said to be debatable. It is a genre wherein people often criticize and underestimate it because the word nonsense implies no sense, unsubstantial, and unvaluable. Therefore, how could the nonsense verses create a serious benefits for children? In order for us to judge whether nonsense verses could have a value or not, let's start. The first one, it provides humor for children. Children laugh heartily at the words even though the words may be meaningless to them. The attention of the children is hard to grasp, but when humors hit them, they could eventually turn their heads. Since nonsense verses is said to be whimsical and humorous in tone, children tend not to focus on interpreting the meaning of the words or just knowing what does the word means, but children are embracing the joy of the sounds. They laugh at the sounds and the combinations of the sounds. Second, they introduce the children to rhyme and various patterns of verse. The second values employs the exposure of the children to the prosodic elements like intonation, stress, and rhythm, which is very necessary for them to expand their vocabulary by collecting words that have rhymes on it. Aside from that, by letting them to be aware of the prosodic elements, it could lead them to have a successful communication soon. One example is The Octopus by Owen Nash. Tell me, O octopus, I begs, is those things arms, or is they legs? I marvel at thee, octopus. If I were thou, I'd call me as. This example introduces the students to a verse that has a rhyme, which are the words begs and legs, octopus, and ass. It also has 8 syllables in every line. Aside from that, I find it funny too because of identifying whether that 8 tentacle of octopus are arms or legs. For the third one, they serve as a release from tension and stress. A line from a nonsense verse that have my attention, which I find it as humorous, is that one fine day, in the middle of the night, 2 dead men get up to fight. Back to back, they faced one another, drew their swords, and shot each other. It seems funny for me as how could be a one fine day could be in the middle of the night. How could the 2 dead men get up and fight? How could they face each other with that back-to-back fight? And how could the swords could shot instead of a gun? Nonsense verses allows the children to ease their worries through entertaining them by such lines. It really plays a huge role on children's emotional aspect in a way that instead of getting bored and be anxious, why not try to read nonsense verse to ease tensions and would eventually controls emotions. For the fourth one, they provide children a means of escape from reality. The difference between adults and children is that adults tend to choose serious entertainments, preferably the realistic one focuses about truth, while children wants to go with fantasy, which could be said as a form of escapism. With this, it allows the children to deal with reality in a step-by-step manner by introducing them first in the fantasy or magic that could let themselves to see things with different perspectives. Plus, it takes less confrontation because nonsense verse brings the reality to them in a certain distance. As they soon become mature, they could be able to connect those fantasy into reality. For the fifth one, they are excellent for introduction for ear training. When we hear the word ear training, we usually associate those musicians and singers in it. We observe that singers are very excellent in terms of words pronunciation. They are good at identifying when to make a high pitch and low pitch. Same with the nonsense verses for children. It is good for introduction to ear training, such as when teachers recites the verses several times and children follows and imitates. So it becomes an exercise that will improve the speaking skills of the children by imitating the sounds that they heard. By following the intonation, the right stresses of the words, and the correct pronunciation of it could result in a positive nurturing of the children. For the sixth one, they serve as introduction to better poetry. Nonsense verses stretches the children's to literacy skills. It generates creativity and allows them to be a good reader that soon they could make it as the reference for their future poem works when they become the next writer as well as the next author. Children may amuse and confuse that builds their curiosity and thus encourages them to play with words, sounds, and new ideas. Laura E. Richards, whom born on 1850 to 1943, she is a well-known as the children's American poet of nonsense. She uses funny words, humorous tales with funny characters and situations, and have lyrical quality. So one of her works is the monkeys and the crocodile. So I will read it and we need to alternate every two lines. Just like when I say five little monkeys swinging from a tree, then you would do the next two lines. And that is the teasing Uncle Crocodile, merry as can be. So let's start. The monkeys and the crocodile. Five little monkeys swinging from a tree. Swinging high, swinging low. Dear Uncle Crocodile, come and take a bite. Poor Uncle Crocodile, aren't you hungry, dear? Heads down, tails down, dreary as can be. Weak Uncle Crocodile to gobble up our brothers. That's it. Thank you for your active participation. The monkeys and the crocodile is all about regrets, wherein they tease that one monkey to do the thing that the other monkey are doing. But accidentally, that one monkey has been catched by the crocodile and the rest of the monkey felt sorry about it. The moral of the story is that we should not tease everyone because we might hurt their feelings. We should hold respect at anyone at any time because life that are taken can't be taken back. Instead, all I can say is that nonsense verse has a respected role in poetry and thus nonsense could also have sense. That's all. Stay safe and thank you for watching.